The rise of USSR and its historical disintegration. Do really the Soviet Union disintegrated? The Union of Soviet Socialist Republic (USSR), also known as Soviet Union, which was established after the October Revolution of 1917, having millions of square kilometers. The autocratic ruler of Tsar Nikolas II was replaced by provisional government in Russia. Following the end of Great Russian Civil War, a new government was established in June 1922 for Republican called Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian, Transcaucasian. Of course, 15 independent states had merged together to form USSR. The USSR, which was formed by the Lenin and Stalin, converted the leadership into huge totalitarian state. During the Second World War, USSR had been considered a superpower. It had created an influential war called Cold War on USA, on standing alliance with its neighborhood countries of western and southern parts of North America. A totalitarian state, which one communist party, non-accountability and non-democratic behavior of USSR disguises for the people, started creating internal challenges. Imagine those small countries of southwest of the merged countries into USSR empire. In the empire of USSR, the Russian dominance on culture, custom, language, socio-economic and military affiliations, keeping the top priorities on every aspect, ignoring the other people of the republics. For instance, Russia had been the official language of this super-giant empire state. A growing of dissatisfaction brought those merged states seeking for national liberalism. The internal weakness of the Union of the Socialist Soviet Republic (USSR) is described in a way that economic, social, political, military and administrative coherence while lowering down in the empire, creating huge factors on deteriorating USSR. The most prominent external factors for the disintegration of USSR are the growth of economy, feeling of liberalism, and democratic experience of Western countries created a feeling of lack of freedom and backwardness on the people of the merged republics under USSR. The USA propaganda during Cold War on USSR. The last event, disintegration of USSR, were practically implemented by Mikhail Gorbachev, the last leader of USSR. Following the appointment of Mikhail Gorbachev in March 1985, there had been an initiation of fast changes in the Soviet Republic known as Glasnost and Perestroika. Glasnost implies political openness, eliminating Stalinist repression, allowing freedom of citizens and opposition parties to participate on democratic elections. Perestroika refers to economic reconstruction, encouraging privatization and foreign investment, collapsing command economy. In 1989, the leading revolution in Poland by non-communist trade unionists asking free elections, allowing of the Solidarity movement leaders, encouraged the start of peaceful revolutionary movement in Eastern Europe. In November of 1989, Eastern and Western Germany unified after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Communist government of Czechoslovakia broken under Velvet Revolution, starting the collapse of communism in Europe. In the same years, other countries like Eastern Germany, Poland, Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary had dropped out of communist ideologies. Seeking for the independent country also popularized in the Russian Empire of USSR and started in peaceful, energetic revolutionary movement. In 1919, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania of Baltic states announced an independent country from Moscow. Mikhail Gorbachev signed a treaty on August 20 of 1991 with the Republic, informing a decentralized union giving promotable autonomy to those republics. USSR high party members like Gennady Vanayev planned to coup, and Mikhail Gorbachev got under house arrest on 18th of August 1991 coup. Then state of emergency had been announced to save the USSR parliament against human movement chains. The coup of Gorbachev Gorbachev aborted by the leader of Russian Republic, Boris Yeltsin. Gorbachev resigned from the General Secretary Party, discouraging the reform in the party couldn't be maintained. Boris Yeltsin ruled the Russian Federation independently. On December 1991, the vital merged member countries called Ukraine was announced its independence and the USSR collapsed for the first time. Leaders of Russia, Belarus and Ukraine had signed an alliance on military, economic, on creating a commonwealth of independent states. The resigning of Gorbachev on 21st of December 1991 brought about the disintegration of USSR empire. Mikhail Gorbachev was considered as a failure leader for the collapse of USSR by radical reformists and the conservatives of Russia. The dissatisfaction of the collapse of USSR have been annoying many extremist citizens of the Russian citizens, including today's President Putin. Gorbachev has been considered as a failure man by Russian radical extremists and many citizens as well. By Western country citizens, he is considered as the man of 20th century. Gorbachev in the Cold War. He worked for the liberation of Eastern European nations. He awarded the Nobel Prize in 1919 for his greatest effort to end Cold War. It means that he worked for the collapse of USSR, liberations of Eastern Europe nations, and seized the polarization of communist ideologies across the globe. Fear, hesitation, and hate of NATO by the Soviet empire seeker extremists are now the top agenda of Russian administration. The tendency of Ukrainian citizens toward Western extremely made anger on Ukraine. Do you think that Western countries support Ukraine to their maximum efforts? Anyway, the small historic territories of Ukraine are bombarded by the Russian military armies from air, land, and undersea attacks. All in all, the rise of USSR in 1922 and the fall of 1991 couldn't end the rivalry between Russian alliance and Western strong alliances. Thank you for watching.